taking signs from the universe that you are synced up exactly where you're supposed to be. And that's literally what happened earlier. I go on a bike ride, wasn't planning on going on a bike ride. You were going on a run, said you were planning on running on the treadmill, and then you decided to go on a run. I decided to go on a bike ride, met at the same exact spot at the same exact time. And then we proceed to have the conversation of what a trip that was. And then we go up the mountain. And then when 2 years ago, we're in the same exact spot that I was telling you how I wanted to try to fight in mixed martial arts. And 2 years later, meaning today, we are in that same exact spot by complete serendipity, bringing us back to that moment. And who do we see in that exact spot? We see Glover Texiera, who's the light heavyweight UFC world champion, or former, and in that same exact location. And then we continued our trek up the mountain together. And I feel like the universe sometimes can show you certain signs that you're right in sync with your life path, or whatever it might be. It's like you're supposed to be in that moment right at that same time. And I'm not really sure what that is, but definitely was in full effect today. People can say like, oh, what a coincidence. We just saw this and that. But then I feel like, at least my mindset now, there are no coincidences. There's nothing that happens just by chance. And for me, somebody could say, what a coincidence. I just ran into my friend, and then I ran into the light heavyweight champion of the world, and I didn't know any, like, so random. But no, I picked up on the signs of, no, obviously, like knowing you, but then knowing our conversation, and then knowing that that conversation was based around mixed martial arts. And then we see literally Glover in the same spot, and people are like, it's just a coincidence, man. Da, 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 da. But if you really look at the fine details, there's like, energy there, and there's thought there. And there's so many things at play that bring us to moments like that. And maybe that moment doesn't mean anything, but there's something that was being manifested into creating something. And I do believe that life, or maybe it's even yourself, maybe it's something that's within you or within the universe or within God that's literally driving you to become awake to those moments, for you to have the confidence to know, like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. Or someone can just look at a complete coincidence, and I don't think that will benefit them very much. But yeah, if you're thinking about certain things, then those are going to create your reality, and they're going to come forth into your existence. And as well as, the thing is that when we envision a situation, I feel like when you're thinking that you want to have a certain goal, or you want to have a certain task, or a certain, success, certain amount of money, certain amount of whatever it is, achieve a goal, like whether it's becoming world champion in the UFC. I feel like when it comes about, if you've put in the work to get there, it's not going to come about how you originally envisioned it. The universe is going to throw it out at you at some way that you probably didn't expect, or it's just a little bit different than you expected, because when you become, like, think about it, 2 years ago is when I was like, I'm going to try to fight MMA. But now in those 2 years, I've become such a different person than then, like, that the universe was like showing me that message in such a unique way that wasn't aligned with my life path. That is today. I feel like in any situation, whether it's like you're striving for, to finish college, and you're going to have this job, or you're going to, strive to have this certain place you're living, or this certain car, or whatever it is, I feel like that once the universe, you've put in enough thought or enough creativity or enough effort to get there, then I feel that it will be portrayed into your existence, not the way that you originally envisioned it, but somewhat close, just because of the time frame of your life is ever changing and ever evolving, but it will show up. And yeah. And also, dude, to talk about Glover a little bit, that guy literally has fought, I don't know, a long time, like a couple decades, I'm pretty sure. And he chased and never gave up, and he was either 41 or 42 years old when he became light heavyweight champion of the world, and never gave up, and I remember in his interview when he became champion, he like walks over to Dana White. He's like, you remember me? Like 20 years ago, you remember me? And talking about, I think, because he was training with Chuck Liddell, but I know that you could just see the fire, like 20 years later, he didn't give up, like so much time has passed in 20 years, but like it just goes to show the heart and determination of someone like that. And if you're thinking and creating your reality with those thoughts, and you're putting in the effort, and you're putting in the work to get there, nothing can stop you, and I feel like us seeing him today was just like that realization that, I don't know, dude, just like you're right there. I don't know, just to follow mixed martial arts like that, and then see him just like, that's the guy, that dude is, I don't know, it's just a trip to just see him. Yeah. And that's exactly it. Because if you have disciplined thought, you have disciplined action, you have like discipline in all areas of your life. And that's what that dude I was showing you, Jocko, he has a discipline equals freedom. And it's because if you're, obviously military dude, and if you're disciplined in every aspect of your life, then ultimately makes you free. Because you're never thinking, you're not like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed today. No, you're getting out of bed, you're doing da 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 da. And then once you create that discipline in all aspects of your life, then you're actually free to just live that life, if that makes sense. And hopefully that discipline's created by yourself. But for Glover, the discipline of him never forgetting about his goals, about fighting, about, thinking about that all day long, every day. He's got to obviously think about that more than anyone else to become that world champion. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Disciplined thought, every little aspect of discipline will get you to where you want to be. And the thing is, like I'm saying previously, is that once you do it, it won't even seem like that big of a deal. Like certain things that I'm doing today, I was dreaming of 5 years ago. And I think same for you, same for him probably. And then once they're there, you're like, yeah, it's just the moment now. It's just life now. And actually somebody told me a long time ago that it takes you 6 months. His theory was it takes 6 months to adapt to anything. And so he's like, oh yeah, I could be, have tons of money and adapt to that within 6 months. And I could lose all the money and adapt to that in 6 months, or, any life circumstances, like as long as life is forcing you to do that, you're basically adjusting and adapting to that. And I feel like that does come through, if you do have discipline in your life, then you can adapt to anything you want. Or like somebody that you'll see that someone like that means it because they're showing it throughout their life. They're not just trying to do it for the clout and then moving on like other people are doing or have done. But this person has put in the blood, sweat, and tears and determination and thoughts and everything to such a degree that you have enough time and enough effort that, he's literally a living example of that. Do you see the size of that dude's fists? His arm was like the size of my whole body. I literally felt like an ant next to him. Literally, I'm like, I wanted to get on my tippy toes. I'm like, why are you so much taller than me? And like, I feel like you're two of me. Like literally. And then he put his fist up like this, and I can't even bend. Look at how swollen my finger is, dude. I literally, yesterday, I wish I would have taken a picture. I'm training jujitsu. We're doing some stand-up stuff. And we both fall to the ground, the guy I'm wrestling with, and we were like doing stand up, and then we both fell. And the only thing to touch the ground was my hand, and my ring finger was the only thing that hit. I just landed wrong, and my entire finger went 90 degrees sideways, literally 90 degrees across my other fingers. And I didn't even know that was like, I looked at it immediately. I'm like, damn it, I got to go to the hospital and get surgery. That was my immediate like, damn it. But then it didn't hurt. I was all adrenaline. I was like, oh. And then we stopped, and I showed him. I'm like, look at my finger. And he was freaking out too, literally sideways. And I just panicked. I wished I would have taken a picture. I didn't. And I just broke it back. I just and it popped. Oh, I felt so much better. And then he's like, how are you? I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't hurt. And I kept training for another hour. And he's like, you might want to chill, man. Like adrenaline's going to wear off. I'm like, I know. I've had plenty of injuries, but I feel like it's fine. Wake up this morning. I can't even move it. I'm like, yeah. Fat finger. But think about how many fingers and toes and stuff those, like someone like Glover has fucking gone through. Jesus. Because that's him. It's like I always,
his ears.
Yeah, did you see his ears? Just fat cauliflower ear. But yeah, I couldn't believe when he put his fist up, I was like, all right, I'll put my fist up too. And I'm like, I thought I had big hands, and that dude's hands are twice my size, literally twice my fist. It's so funny because I texted Josh the photo, and he goes, I bet getting hit by his fist is like getting hit with a sledgehammer, literally, or maybe even worse, depending on who's holding the sledgehammer. But that guy's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, you should sell Glover sledgehammers, like his fist on the end. So nice. You could tell he was so genuine too. And do you see the guy walk by with the bulletproof vest, and he goes, oh, guy got a vest. I'm like, I am not afraid at all right now. Like, because if that guy was going to talk back or something, there's no way. There's nothing like, no. But you just felt the confidence like going through his soul. I'm just like, oh, bulletproof vest. What a legend, dude. Man, I would not want to meet that guy in a back alley unless he was on my side. Yeah, crazy.